this isn't to say there aren't bad apples. There's bad apples in every group, right?
Of course, right.
People don't see color anymore. We're not living in the 1860s.
That is not certainly not true of every single person.
It's not true of every single person.
But I have made a similar point, so we're not far off.
Right.
I always say, let's live in the year we're living in.
Right.
And in the year we're living in, it is true. We have come such a long way.
But you wouldn't think that if you saw the media.
That's why I say, live in the year we're living in.
Yes, absolutely.
It's like, is racism still a malady in this country? Absolutely. But it's like we're using the blood work from 1990 to diagnose it. And that's not where the blood work is now. Still an issue, absolutely. And there are still lots of racist people in this country.
Absolutely.
Just individuals. But, most of it is just, I went into a store and I got a, dirty look from the guy. And it's like, yeah, that happens to people of color. And it's wrong.
Right.
But it's like, a little, this kind of dirt off my shoulder thing is required. And that's, I think, what most people do. But as far as like what the laws say, and also what just the mainstream of Americans are just not racist like they used to be.
No.
It's just, you can find it and it's still an issue and there still needs to be redress for, obviously, the legacy of it still lives with us in many ways.
Certainly.
It's not a non-issue, but I agree. I think the biggest problem that they have on the left is this obsession with race, chasing phantoms of racism that don't exist anymore, because it's a lot about.
Everyone just wants to be a victim, right?
I was just going to say that it's victim mentality, and that transcends race. That's like everybody. That's much more.
That's what I was getting to.
Much more generational. That's your generation.
Don't lump me in. Didn't we just say we're not going with the rest thing?
You're not.
I don't want to be in the rest.
No, you're not Ginger and Professor and Marianne.
Yeah,
I wouldn't do an and the rest to you.
No, but it is. It has transcended far beyond race. But that was the point I was getting to, because I think it's extremely evident in what we see in the media. But again, coming from the South, I live in Tennessee. And again, not to say there's not bad apples, but yes. I think we can all agree that slavery is awful and terrible and should have never happened. And as we move forward, we most certainly should prevent any situation where we're discriminating in that way. I mean, that's awful, and I think everyone agrees with that.
Well, not just that way, but I mean, that's the extreme horribleness of racism. But we need to truck it back way further than just, is what I'm sure you were trying to say. Yes, of course. The other point that never gets made, because again, there are certain people who just don't want to hear what the truth is, and there should be no politics in this, but slavery in general was not a racial thing. It certainly was, of course, in America, but it has gone on all through history. The word slave comes from Slav, and they're white, because Slavs were slaves. People of color had slaves in Africa. The movie they just made about
Sound of Freedom.
The Kingdom of, what?
Did you watch Sound of Freedom?
No, that sounded a little red pill to me. Hey, thanks for watching the clip. Hit the subscribe button now so you never miss out on our Club Random content that's posted daily.